All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to BBC Returns. Woohoo! It is the 1st of November, so we're starting off a new month. Yay. We are talking about what I'm calling from hobby to rock star. How to turn your business from a hobby, how to transform it into a real business, like how to turn your business into a business. And one of the first things, they've been sharing, a lot of our NEDs have been sharing about different topics in the consultants group, Facebook group. How many of you are in the consultant group? Are you all in there? Good. Okay. I encourage you to go and look and watch some of those recordings or some of the lives that they've been putting out there, because they have been so good. They've been so amazing. And make sure you're commenting, because underneath each of those, because you can actually get a call with one of the national executive directors. And I've gotten several of them. I've been picked to do several of them, and it's been life-changing for me, because being able to connect with these national executive directors has just been so fantastic. And one of the recurring themes, if you're watching a lot of those, is mindset. And we talk about that a lot. We talk about our mindset. We talk about our beliefs. And I just wanted to, you can't talk about switching your business from just a hobby into a real, like, strong income generating business without talking about your mindset and your beliefs, right? So number one thing to think about is thinking positive. It seems so obvious, but so often, we get that negative self-talk coming into our minds, and we really need to focus on the positive, including taking some positive affirmations. So, for example, if one of your focuses is on recruiting, then you want to put somewhere you will see it every day, I am a strong recruiter. Or if one of your goals is to advance to a director, you want to put somewhere where you can see it every single day, I am a strong director. I am a rock star recruiter, right? Because we know recruiting fixes everything. And so we want to really focus on that if you're trying to grow your business. But also, when you're thinking about your mindset, thinking about the growth, and I think it was, the it girl, Jamie Lynn, I forget her last name, Jamie Lee Kearns, that talked about like a growth mindset. Then she talked about growth mindset versus fixed mindset at the conference. And a growth mindset is remaining teachable, thinking that you are capable, you are constantly learning, you're constantly adapting, you're constantly trying to roll with the punches, right? Versus a fixed mindset where you take the things that are coming at you and you're not adaptable. You don't try to find new ways to do things to make the most out of the current situation. The way that you need to change your mindset is to look at every problem and find the solution. I mean, it seems so simple, but how often do we get into the mindset where something is thrown at us and we just complain about the situation, or we make ourselves kind of a slave to the situation instead of driving our business despite what is in front of us? We have the ability to it starts in our mind. And so if you can keep yourself teachable and adaptable, you're going to take something that's thrown at you, no matter what the situation is, and say, okay, what do I need to do? What do I need to do here to fix this? Or what do I need to do here to move over it, to move past this? And also, I think it comes down to, and I'm going to be real with you guys, it comes down to a desire. Do you have the desire to do more with your business? We can say, okay, we want to make more money, but is your desire strong enough where gosh, this is really terrible light. Is your desire strong enough where you want to turn off that TV show at night and get back to work on your business? Let's say you have to do some party check-ins, and I'm guilty of this one because I want to relax sometimes. Do you want it bad enough where you're going to turn off that TV show that you're watching, that Netflix thing that you're binging, and say, okay, I'll give myself this much time to relax, and then it's back to work? Or I'm going to set this time aside for my business, and then I can move on to something else. We talk about, I've had a lot of people saying to me, oh, it's taking up a lot of time. I'm spending a lot of time on my business. But what's the alternative? If you are not working this business and you're wanting to make an income, what's the alternative? I think it was Michaela Wyatt that said that. what is the alternative to this business? Is it going to a 9-to-5 job? Is it going and working part-time, standing on your feet, dealing with the Christmas rushes? Is that the alternative? And then we have to kind of adjust our way of thinking and say, all right, given that alternative, which is more attractive to me? Which do I want? How do I want to approach this, my need for income? Do I want to go out and get a job and for me leaving my babies with somebody else? Or can I sit down, get to work on my business on the times that I designate and then turn it into something? So it really does come down to how badly do you want it, right? If you don't want it bad enough to turn off that TV show, or to get, for me, I'm really trying to, I am not a morning person. And I think we heard, oh gosh, her name just, Melody, right? Melody Govig. She talked about how she was not a morning person and she had to become a morning person because she had goals that were bigger than what she could get done in this chunk of time. She was losing a whole chunk of time, but not being a morning person. So she changed. And that's something that I'm trying to work on myself is I'm not a morning person, but I really need to change that if I want to accomplish my goals, especially with everything else I have to accomplish in the day with my kids and stuff like that. If I'm losing out on that time, that's on me, right? So in addition to mindset and beliefs, it comes down to habits. And that's kind of a good tie-in. Setting time for your business every day, whether it's waking up early, whether it's staying up late, or finding pockets of time, making use of pockets of time. For example, if you, I'm somebody who sits in the pickup line. If I am sitting there, I know I need to sit there for 20 minutes because you got to get there early or else you're in the way back far end of the line. What if I took that 20 minutes every single day and contacted people about the business? Took that 20-minute pocket of time, and that's when I contact people about the business. It should be like brushing your teeth in the morning. It should become something where, okay, this pocket of time, I will be working on this. And think about ask yourself, are you setting time for your business every day? Be real with yourself. If you're not real with yourself, then who's going to be, who are you going to be real with? Are you setting time aside every day for your business? And then ask yourself, in any kind of other job, normal job, will you get paid if you're not, as Tina would say, will you get paid if you're not showing up to work? And in any other normal job, will you meet your goals in that job if you're not spending the work day, if you are spending the work day surfing the internet or scrolling through your Facebook feed? Will you meet your goals in that job if you're doing these other things instead of focusing when you need to focus? Okay. I know these seem kind of, obvious, but sometimes we got to be real with ourselves because we think, oh, it should be so easy because it's a direct sales job, but we got to work it. You're not going to grow your business without putting in the work. So have a set amount of time dedicated for income producing activities. I know that that's something that I am so guilty of, is I will be working all day on my business. And hold on one second, I'll be working all day on, oh, you're guilty too. I'll be working all day on my business, but how much did I really get accomplished? Because I started here and then I was dealing with this and this and this and this. What I'm really working on for myself is taking 30 minutes or an hour to, if I'm working on bookings, and turning off my notifications. If you need to do 30 minutes of reaching out to people about the business, because we know that that's where we're going to grow our business the most, is reaching out to people and growing our team. Do that 30 minutes and turn off your notifications. And a lot of times I think, oh gosh, but then I'll miss somebody writing back to me who's online right now. But that person, if they really want that business, if they really want that to have that party, you've already reached out to them, you can follow up with them. They will be there later. I know that that's a temptation, but it is more important to get through your list of things to do without that distraction than it is to write back to that person right then. Okay. Because we're going to be developing such a great follow-up routine that if that person doesn't write right back to us, we know we're going to be following up with them anyway. Another thing that seems a little less second nature to us is always making time to learn and always being willing to learn, realizing that that is a very valuable commodity when you're trying to grow your business into something real. it really strong, because the time spent watching trainings, the time spent watching videos of the people who are doing this thing and doing it right, the time that you're going to invest in attending trainings like this and team meetings like we have on Saturday morning, not only are they going to inform you, they're going to inspire you, and then they're going to cause you to find something to implement also. So it's kind of like the 3 I's. It's informing you, so you're getting that training, but you want to be inspired too. Attending those meetings, attending these trainings very regularly will give you inspiration, but it'll also show you what to implement to transform your business. And then lastly, so we've talked about belief and mindset. We've talked about habits, but also creating systems. And that kind of ties in with habits a little bit. But one thing that somebody said on a training call was to list the 3 tasks. And we're going to actually go ahead and do this. I want you to list 3 tasks in your business. And I know, Rebecca, you're new. I don't see anybody else that's brand new, I don't think. But list 3 tasks that you like the least in your business, or that suck up the most time in your business. Okay, so for example, for me, a few things that suck up a lot of time or that I like the least in my business are sending out prizes. I stink at it. I think I wrote down a list of things that I suck at, and that's one thing I suck at. So sending prizes or host coaching might be something that you feel like takes up a lot of your time or that you're not good at. What about making contacts after the party? And if anybody wants to drop any in the chat, let me just open up the chat so I can see it. Or maybe following up with people with those contacts. So what are 3 things, and drop them in the chat, that you do in your business that you really don't like doing? Don't see any yet. Or anybody want to unmute if you want to say it real fast while other people are typing? Okay, contacting past hosts after a time of not talking to them. That's from Donna. That's a good one. Making contacts every day from Miriam. So do you mean, setting that time aside to make a set amount of contacts every day? Those are good ones. Rebecca said, agree with both of those. A lot of times it comes down to just a matter, yes, it's a habit is number 1, but it can also be a training issue. And if you are attending, like watching trainings, you can get that motivation, you can get that inspiration, you can get those ideas, something that you didn't know before. So you can find out what people are doing well and apply it. So a few places to go to do those would to look up some new ideas on how to treat those would be things like this, our BBC that we record, and we have the list of recordings also. We have to get it updated a little bit, but we do have the list of recordings from every week. There's also the old Coffee Talk group. I know they're not adding new videos to that. And if you're not a member of that, definitely search up Coffee Talk, and it's Pampered Chef group that has had a weekly recording every week, a short one. And they kept those recordings, but then they transitioned into the Saturday Success Talk. Same thing, it's got so many amazing ideas and leaders talking about what they're doing in their businesses. I can't tell you how many little tidbits of information I've gotten from those calls that I've applied to my business that tweaked my business just a little bit and changed it all for me. Another place to look is Consultant Scoop, where these national executive directors are posting every day, just about, with amazing tips, and they're just so motivating and inspiring. Also, Teach Me webinars and Dash are other places. But the biggest thing, if you have this list of 3 things, I'm seeing if anybody else posted, being new is learning all the systems, Rebecca said, learning all the systems. So you're not reinventing the wheel. That'll take time, you'll get there. And not using the same techniques from other MLMs that she's a part of. So not using things that you may have learned before. But here's the thing, take all of those 3 things that you really consider time suckers in your business or that you don't enjoy doing, and turn them into a system. So for example, host coaching, that's an easy one. That can be a time sucker, right? what is your system for host coaching? I know Tina and Miriam are using Project Broadcast, which is an automatic text generating, a text sending service. So they have solved that problem. They don't touch their host coaching anymore because it goes out automatically for them. I have text replacement. So what I do is I use my text replacement to send items on Messenger, a whole list of things on Messenger. And then I do the first host of mine, I do the whole day's worth of host coaching. And then I just hit forward on Messenger and forward it to 5 people. And then go the next message, forward it to 5 people. They're already showing up right at the top. And I just go boom, 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 boom. Next one, boom, 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 boom. And it's done. So I've developed a system for me that works, and it takes me under 5 minutes to do all of my host coaching for 5, 6, however many parties. Let's see, another example. More examples where you can implement technology, the idea of following up with hosts, following up with customers, customer care. How many of us, except for those people using Project Broadcast, are really up on their customer care? Not asking for bookings, just checking with all those customers and hosts that you had in the past 2 months, 6 months, 10 months. Anybody? No. So that is a whole group of people that you're not reaching. Find a way, find a system that works for you. We've started with Project Broadcast, and if you want details about that, we just did a BBC on that, a little bit ago. But if you have something like that, a type of technology that can not only make it faster to do your customer care, but actually reaching out to people that you would not have gotten to. It's not just making it easier, it's creating a whole new group of people to reach, because Project Broadcast has been life-changing. Yes, it is, and Project Broadcast does have a cost associated with it. So you can use things like Google Calendar. You can use your phone to create a system where you take 30 minutes and an alarm goes off. You can say, okay, at this time, a non-negotiable for me is between 9 and 10, I'm going to make my booking messages. I'm going to send out booking messages, or I'm going to do green dotting, or whatever that is for you. You take a period of time every day and set an alarm on your phone to every day go off. Those are systems. You know what else is a system? Having Kroger or whatever grocery store pick your groceries for you. That is a system that creates more time for you. There are things you can do to create more pockets of time. Let's see. So sending price. Okay. So then when you get your systems in place, when you get your habits in place, you know what? It comes right back around to mindset and belief all over again. You have to realize when you're working your business and getting these systems in place and getting these habits in place, none of that matters. You can be working your little tail off. None of that matters if you don't think you can do it, if you don't know you can do it, and you don't know that you can grow your business. Knowing that you can accomplish anything if you're willing to put that time in and that work in. Another part of that is if something isn't working. Let's say you are sending out booking message after booking message after booking message, and you're getting all no's. You can look at it one of 2 ways. You can say, okay, nobody's booking parties. Is that true? Probably not. Nobody wants to have a party. That's one way to look at it. Nobody wants to have a party. But that's really probably not true. You just haven't found the people that are wanting the parties yet. You need to flip your thinking and say, okay, this isn't working. What I'm doing isn't working. What do I need to change? What can I do differently to get a different result? If you're doing the same thing, that's insanity, right? But if you flip your thinking, and that's when you can reach out and grab some help from your director and say, okay, here's what I'm doing, and I'm getting all no's. What can I do different? Let's brainstorm. And that's where somebody else can come in to bounce ideas off of. So for example, no bookings. Are you posting on let's say on your VIP group or on your wall? Are you posting, hey, here's a great special this month, it's awesome. Let me know if you want a party. Okay, well, that might not be the most effective way to do things. Maybe you should be sending texts and private messages, or creating a post on your VIP group that will lead to you being able to send private messages. So for example, Tina has done the turkey trot, where she says, oh, pick your favorite pick your favorite side dish or pick your favorite part of Thanksgiving meal, and based on what and post what it is in the comments. That gets the algorithms up so people see them. And then you can say, pick this certain thing to win a prize, and I'll private message you what your prize is. That creates a private message. And that creates you talking to them one-on-one versus saying, hey, come to me if you want a party, okay? I can't say how many times that's happened, and I see, people are saying nobody's wanting to book parties, and they're just putting up a post. You got to go to people. How many of my parties have come from me putting out a post and somebody coming to me and saying, hey, I want to have a party? Not very many. It is always a matter of me going and reaching out to them. What about sending out private messages and getting all no's? Everybody's saying no. You can look at it and say, nobody wants to have a party, everybody's saying no. Or you can take that problem and say, okay, something has to change. I need to do something differently. Maybe you should be checking your wording. What wording are you using? Are you asking an open-ended question at the end? Are they saying no and you're asking more questions to every single no? Are you doing that as a routine? If somebody says, no, I'm not interested, what do you do? Look at that. Look at what you're doing. Are you saying, I have wording that I send out to every single no? Somebody says no, I shoot it off, it's a text replacement. And I say, oh, is that can I ask, can I reach back out to you? Do you mind if I reach back out to you down the road, maybe after the holidays are over? I actually say maybe closer to the holidays or even after the new year. Or is it more of a nah and then smiley face? Every single time I get a no. And if they say, no, I'm not interested, okay, great. Well, consider joining my VIP group since you love Pampered Chef. And then I'll send them an e-cookbook to say, just to thank you a little more or tell you how much I appreciate your business. Here's an e-cookbook full of great recipes. And I send that to them. But are you taking those steps? If somebody says no, are you doing that, what I call the not now language? If somebody doesn't write back, you have a whole list of people you're reaching out to. Let's say 25% of them wrote back to you. What are you doing with the other 75%? Are they automatic no's, or are you reaching out to them also? And I have another text replacement that's the what I call the no reply language, and it just says, since I didn't hear back from you, I wanted to check back in and make sure you didn't just get busy. I know how I am about missing messages. I didn't want you to miss out on this awesome host special we have going if you were interested and just got busy. What do you think? Or something like that. And probably half of my yeses, half of my parties have come from either no's or people that never wrote back to me, and I followed up with them. Okay, creating that system. If you don't hear back from those people, are you reaching out one last time and saying, hey, I just wanted to get back in touch with you one more time? Or are those just left on the table? So that is something that you can change. If you're not getting parties and you're saying nobody's booking parties, that's 75% or whatever your number is of the messages you're sending out. If they're a no, or if they are a no reply and you're not following up with those extra questions, then you're missing out on 75% of your contacts, right? That's a big number. Have to mention this one too, because this is a big deal to me. Do you feel like you're getting no's and you're asking the same people over and over and over again? You're going back to the same past hosts. You're going back to the same circle of friends. Well, that's the problem, right? That's not really, that's the problem you have to look at to find a solution to. And one of the things, examples, and I would ask you guys, for some ideas, but I know we're short on time. One idea that you could do is, obviously, if you're asking the same people over and over and over and over again, you need to expand your circle, right? You have to find new people to ask. Is that right? And there are so many different ways to do that. Are you contacting every single person in every single party? Are you creating the two-way conversation when you're sending out a private message on Messenger? Or are you sending out, you're like, oh, I'm contacting every single person in this party, but you haven't created the two-way conversation, so it's going into the abyss of the message request folder. Are you changing your system so that you can reach out to those people and have them see what you're sending them? Have you, and I did come up with like kind of a new system that I started using, and we've talked about it before, and you can message me privately if you want me to share that with you, where I get that two-way conversation going. It's bumped up my messages to people, my list of people. It probably took it from, let's say, 5 non-ordering guests in a party that I have a two-way conversation going to like 20. I mean, it's crazy. So I've gone back through those people. I was looking for new people to reach out to, and I went back to, I started going through all my parties and saying, okay, who did I have a two-way conversation with, or who accepted a friend request from me? And I didn't ask them, or I didn't hear back from them about having a party. And I went back through and asked them, and I got several parties just from that, going through just a few of my old parties, looking for the people I had two-way conversations with, or are you sending friend requests to people in a party? A lot of people don't want to do that, but it's a way to get you connecting with somebody, a whole new group of people that you wouldn't have been able to have that contact with otherwise. That's expanding your circle. So that's taking a problem and finding a solution to it. So I think, and it comes down to, I heard Stephen Joseph say this. You guys know I'm a huge fan of Stephen Joseph. But I heard him say once, and it has stuck with me, are you doing all the things? Miriam said, do a vendor booth to get in front of new people. Absolutely. Do a pamper your business. Can I pamper your business? Bring your business a treat, and bring some catalogs, and try to make a contact before you just drop them off. But he had said once, are you doing all the things? If I'm not getting bookings and I'm not getting recruits on my team, am I having fun, engaging parties that will, am I posting consistently on social media? Am I doing all the things? I know that like there have been some things in my business where it really, you think it had some stuff to do with everybody else, but it was really, I wasn't doing everything I needed to do. I wasn't doing all the things. And so that's the first place to look, is where you can tweak something you're already doing, get consistent with your business, put the time into it, and then be always on the lookout for your new team members, and really, make sure you're asking every host multiple times. Whether it's 2, 3, 4, whatever you're comfortable with, it's better than not asking them at all, right? Are you following up with every lead? Are you following up with every time you're doing recruiting? If you're talking about the business to somebody in a party, let's say somebody comes to you and says, hey, I used to be a consultant. I have so much Pampered Chef. I have no Pampered Chef because I can't afford it. Things like that, little keywords that should spark something in you. Are you keeping a list and following up with every single one of those people? Just the way I've said about a booking. Are you treating your recruit leads the way you would treat a booking lead? So let's say you send out a message about the business and they don't write back. Are you sending that no reply text? If somebody says, oh no, I'm not interested in joining the business, are you saying, well, is that a not now, or is it a not ever? Are you asking that other question? Because those kinds of things are what's going to take your business from here and just doing 1 party, 2 parties a month to 8, 10, 12 parties a month, following up on every lead and really treating your business like a business. So really, if your business isn't where you want it to be, then are you doing all the things all the time? So really kind of turn it back inward. It's not the situation. It's not the virus. It's what are we doing with this to boost our business to the next level? So any questions? I think that's all I've got. I know I went talking really fast. Hope got something out of it.
Oh my gosh, that was so good, Heather. I hope everybody got some great ideas off of that. I mean, so good. Are you doing all the things, guys? That's so good, so good.
And I will say,
definition of insanity: doing the same thing over and over again and not getting different results. It's like, okay, that's why you're
expecting different results when you're doing the same thing. And honestly, I've been in so many situations where, like there could be a situation on my team, or, somebody, like some of my good, like strongest people on my team have decided to stop selling. Well, why was I not finding new people for my team all along? You know, it comes down to what I'm doing. If I start saying, oh, well, this person did this, or, oh, this host decided not to have a party, or even that fear of asking somebody to join your team because you want to keep that party, right? That's a belief issue, right? But there have been so many times like that where something else has happened, somebody else, but what could I have done differently? It really puts it back on me. I could have been recruiting all along. I could have been coaching my host better and earlier so that they wouldn't back out at the last minute. So I could have booked, I'm a big believer in booking extra parties. So I could have booked a couple extra parties, not just what I needed, but gone for a couple more. I could have not stopped until I got the number of bookings that I needed to have that buffer. I could have not stopped until I got a couple of recruits joining my team. It's the things that I'm doing that, and how badly I want it, that's going to make the difference. So any questions or things that have worked for you? No, we're at time.
That was great, Heather. Thank you so much. Anybody have a question?
You know what? Rebecca was asking what was green dotting.
I'll talk to you about that. Yeah,
okay.
We'll discuss that.
Okay.
I knew that was a phrase that was going to trip you up, Rebecca. Because that's new to some people, and I'll get you a good training on that. Even Joseph had a really good training on green dotting ages and ages ago. So we'll get you hooked up. And I do believe if you're struggling with your business, watch some trainings. Go find the place where you're struggling the most and find some trainings and watch the people that are doing it and doing it well and doing it right and learn from them.
And just a little PR, we have our team meeting on Saturday. So mark your calendars and don't miss it. After she just said, join as much as you can, because I can't tell you how encouraging it is to, even though we're not in person, to just be together online and talking and listening and learning. And it's just so, it gives you that little kick in the pants that you need.
I know. I've never taken one of these classes where I didn't walk away with a nugget of something that took me somewhere, right? So we all learned something. And so, and I just want to share one thing I did today on a call. I just set up a table party today, and I told my host, you know, how important it was to ask her guests for their phone number on table. But I also said to her, you know what? It's mine and your job both to get 3 bookings from your show.
I love
always
it.
taken the responsibility for that. But today I thought I wanted to use some new language. And so I just said, you know, that really is our goal, because you get a gift from Pampered Chef with 3 bookings. I ask everybody if they want to host a party, Vanessa. So what I need you to do that's going to help you get the 3 bookings is make sure every person that comes to this party, or maybe doesn't even make it to your party, you ask them if they'd like to have a party. Let me know who you know that's mentioned how much they love Pampered Chef that maybe isn't in the party, that you can give me a heads up with to text them, because together, our goal together is to work to get 3 bookings from this party today. So I just kind of felt good with that language when I hung up the phone with her, and she's like, oh, okay. It was like the light bulb went off, and I thought, you know, we really can't just assume that it is our responsibility, but we have a host. It's just part of good host coaching, is to let her know what we expect and we want from her. And so I'll let you know how it goes.
Yes, it's so
bookings.
That is so true. And you know, the other thing that I would tell you guys, if you're really wanting to work your business, is don't give up until, like, it's never really over, right?
Right, exactly.
It's never over. Like if you stunk at something yesterday, well, okay, it's a new day and it's your business. It's not like that stuff is carrying over. You can change the course of your business at any time. And so I was really wanting to focus on some recruiting, because I hadn't been doing really great with that. And I know I want to grow my business. And it got to, I had been talking to some people and nothing materialized. Well, it was the last day, you guys know me, the last day of the month. And I made a list of 25, the night before the last day, I made a list of 25 people I was going to contact just about the business, prior leads, people that were rock stars, and just like 25 people. And I did it, and 2 people signed up that on the last day of the And I got, you know, and
Wow,
I'm working my
yesterday?
parties and I got a bunch of sales the last day of the month. It's not over. Don't give up on your business because you're just kind of giving up on yourself. You're not punishing anybody else, just your business. You know, you can keep going until 11:58 p.m. on the last day of the month if you're trying to reach a goal. Right now, we're trying to earn all of the spring free-for-all products. So if it's the 20th of the month and you're like, oh my gosh, my sales are not good. Okay, now what? What are you going to do about it? You know, get with your director, become accountable and change it that month. Do it. So it's just,
I love it that you
flip a
worked
switch.
until the last day. Like Heather said, it's not over till it's over. She had a $41 kit to promote last night until in California it's 10:59.
I
But
know, I had to point that out. I had some California people I was trying to get a hold of last night. On Halloween,
yes, on Halloween. So it's true. You've got either the last day and that 41. So, it's never too late. It's always a good time and to just work your business. So
Well, thank you. I'm sorry I went a little bit over, but that's part of
you
the course.
did great. I love it. Thank you for everything. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
And if you guys do want details on any of those systems that I did mention, you can send me, a message and tell me which one you were wanting some details on.
Cool.
Okay.
We'll get the recording back, and then the Zoom meeting is this Saturday morning. Grab your cup of coffee and join us. And always great training. So thanks, you
Well,
guys.
thanks everybody. Have a good night.
Bye.